goes to her. Major credit. If you are looking for a good psychological thriller type book to read, highly recommend The Perfect Child or anything Lucinda Berry. I have another book in this stack from Lucinda Berry, so this is book number 1 and the latest one I finished. And the second book is Varity by Colleen Hoover. I'm sure if this one is a little bit more mainstream, I know some people, like I've seen online after I looked it up, some people love this book, some people hate this book. I've said it before and I'll say it again, I loved this book, and I have to give major credit to Colleen Hoover for this book because it got me back into reading. It made me want to read more thrillers, more books like this. So I have to give major credit to Colleen Hoover. So Varity is a story about a young author named Lowen. She basically was contacted by what was the guy's name? I forget. It's been a while. Let me see. Jeremy. Okay, so Lowen was contacted by Jeremy Crawford, who is Varity Crawford's husband. And Varity Crawford was an author who was in an accident and could not finish her contracted books. There was like a series that she needed to finish. So Jeremy was looking for an author to help finish the series for Varity since she was just not able to do it after her accident. However, the story gets crazy because Lowen starts staying at the Crawford residence while she's going through Verity's office and everything to help get an idea of where her head was at so she can do her series justice. And however, the startling information that Lowen somehow comes across while she's digging through Verity's office is absolutely diabolical. And keep in mind that like Varity is not she is like not able to move or speak or anything like that, so this is thrilling. Like there was one scene where there was like an actual jump scare in the book. It's so good. I love this book. I was on the edge of my seat a couple of times. Again, I think that this is a really good place to start if you've never been into thrillers, you've never really read them, and you want to dip your toes. I think that Varity is a good place to start, and the best part is they're making a movie, and Anne Hathaway is going to be playing Varity. So I'm so excited, and I feel cool. Like I feel like I'm in like the cool girls club that I read the book, and I can like watch the movie and be able to be like, you know, compare to the book. So I'm really excited. But yes, in all seriousness, I highly recommend this book. I loved this one. Alright, the next one is That's Not My Name by Megan Lawley. Let me read the back of this book actually, because I don't really want to explain because I'm worried I might spoil it, but let me read the back. So, shivering and bruised, a teen wakes up on the side of the dirt road with no memory of how she got there or who she is. The police don't know where she came from until a frantic man arrives at the station. He's been searching for her for hours. He has her school ID, her birth certificate, and even family photos. He is her father. Her name is Mary, or so he says. When Lola is slammed the car door and stormed off into the night, Drew thought they just needed some time to cool off. Except Lola disappeared. Now his friends, the sheriff, and the whole town are convinced Drew murdered his girlfriend. Forget proving his innocence. He needs to find her. The longer Lola is missing, the fewer leads there are to follow, and the more danger they are both in. This was a really good book. Another page turner. I couldn't put this one down either. behind a husband and a daughter who was young. She was like under 5 years old, I think. But then over time, so much time had gone by, like over 11 years. And then all of a sudden, she turns up at a gas station in Montana, screaming, freaking out with a newborn baby. And the book is telling the story from different points of view, from like the husband, his new wife, because keep in mind, like I said, there was a lot of time that went by, the daughter, and then also like journal entries from Kate, the wife, the one that went missing. And they're all trying to figure out and put pieces back together as to like what happened, where was she, what are all the details. Again, very similar to The Perfect Child, Lucinda Berry has a way of effing you up emotionally, getting you going. And like with both books, you are not left like you think that as the reader, like you have these feelings of like, oh, I think this is gonna happen and I want this to happen. You are left in your thoughts. I'm just going to warn you with Lucinda Berry, but it's a good thing. I think it like really makes you reflect and like have a dialogue with somebody about the books. It's like Lucinda Berry's books are perfect for a book club because you just go back and forth and share like your emotions and your reactions to the details in the story. When She Returned, another great read. Highly recommend this one. Aside from the Varity, this is like the second most known book I think in the stack. This is The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. This is a very popular book. I remember even before I got into reading again, I had heard of The Silent Patient. Again, another page turner. Couldn't put this book down. The plot twist in this book is insane. I personally did not see it coming. So it's about a woman named Alicia, and her life is seemingly perfect until one night when her husband Gabriel returns home late from work and Alicia shoots him 5 times in the face and then never speaks another word. Alicia's refusal to talk or give any kind of explanation turns a domestic tragedy into a mystery that captures the public imagination. And then the book is told from the point of view of the criminal psychotherapist Theo Faber, and he has been captivated by her story for a long time, and his goal was to get into the center that she's at and try to get to the bottom of it and get her to speak. And like once you read the book and then like you get toward the end and like you're done hearing all the details, he's trying to dig through everything, figure out if he can break her silence. Once you get to the end, the plot twist in this book locked me in. The ending, I was like, what? Like it was really good. I like this. I'm so happy that I read it. And I wonder if they'll make this one into a movie. I feel like this would be a really interesting movie. So yeah, if you haven't read The Silent Patient, I recommend. And then the last book in my stack, this is A Flicker in the Dark, and this one is by Stacey Wilmingham, another thriller novel. A Flicker in the Dark is about a woman named Chloe Davis. When she was 12, 6 teenage girls went missing in her small Louisiana town. By the end of summer, her own father had confessed to the crimes and was put away for life, leaving Chloe and the rest of her family to grapple with the truth and try to move forward while dealing with the aftermath. Now, 20 years later, Chloe is a psychologist in Baton Rouge and getting ready for her wedding. While she finally has a fragile grasp on the happiness she worked so hard to achieve, she sometimes feels out of control of her still. Like, I wasn't like I saw that specific thing coming, but I did think back to like, oh, you know, I did remember that detail, and that was interesting. So I guess I can see how that tracks. If that makes any sense. I just don't want to give any spoilers for you guys. It was a very good story. You will be it's thrilling. It's a good plot twist. Highly recommend this one. This is a very popular one as well. Alright, I want to try to like tap on some of them for you guys. So if I had to pick my absolute favorite from all of them, it would be this book, and it's because of the way this emotionally riled me up and caused so much, like I felt the need to call my friend Andrea, who had read the book, and just constantly complain to her about, you know, the story, what's going on. I was absolutely frustrated, angry, like it ignited me, and I think that if a book can do that, it deserves a trophy. So it's gonna get an invisible trophy. The Perfect Child from Lucinda Berry. Out of all these books, this was my favorite out of all of them, and ironically, this was the last one that I read. I kept picking all the other ones over this one, and I had no other options once I got to the end, so I read this, and it turned out to be my favorite book of them all. But beware, you will be emotionally affected. So those are all the books that I've read recently. There are a total of 6 of them. If you are like me and you have fallen out of reading, you don't read very often, but you kind of want to get back into it, I highly recommend thrillers. I think the reason why I like reading them so much, I was explaining this to somebody, that it feels like a prize. Like I'm just waiting for that plot twist, waiting to connect the dots that is being presented to you at the beginning. And it kind of makes sense. Me and my friend were talking about how I love watching true crime, suspenseful documentaries, stories about con men, manipulation, things like that. So it tracks